Timeless reading for Libra, starting with the card Laurels, followed by the Jester, White Dragoness, Thief, River, and Mirror. Your reading feels very positive, very light, full of relief and happiness, ease. I also get this feeling there's something about vacation, a holiday that's coming up. The previous readings, they also all had their positive components and happy endings, but there was always also a not so nice issue that had to be worked through first before getting to the positive bottom of a story. But yours is very, very easy. With the laurel card, obviously laurels are a symbol for success or for some kind of victory, or both. So this is obvious. And next to it we have the jester, representing something funny, jokes, comedy. The jester also stands for entertainment in a non so medieval way. It could represent movies, theater, some kind of musical, or just music itself as entertainment, a concert. It stands for art of all kinds, being artistic, painting, singing, writing, whatever. There is some kind of success for you if you are working on some kind of artistic project. This is what is coming toward you, some kind of victory and success in that field. Or if you feel like, oh no, I'm not an artist at all, it could just mean that you win some kind of concert ticket or something like that. Also, the jester could be a literal person in your life that will deliver some very, very good news and hand over to you some kind of prize or a license or a certificate. Maybe you are graduating in something that you always wanted to graduate in, and this jester person is someone who is a little bit older, very mature. But even though they are very mature and they might even work in a serious field, be very professional, yet they have kept some inner funny, I don't know, it's just someone who hasn't lost their youthful spark. Despite getting older or old, they still can laugh about a lot of things. They can be silly sometimes, but they are still professional. So it's a very nice mixture. I feel like it's someone you like a lot. Even if this is a teacher, it's a very friendly person here. And somehow this person is connected to your success or victory. And as I said earlier, if it's not a person, then this jester card represents a quality, something that is artistic or entertaining. Next to it, we have a spiritual guidance looking at this whole scenery. You might not be aware of it. This white dragoness represents in my deck the highest source, the highest knowledge, it's the highest being. And it's like this, you've been guided towards this situation. This is your destiny. This is a fixed part of your life that was meant to happen this way, and it was guided by this white dragoness. And I feel like she has a plan for you. Like this success now will end a certain phase of your life and push you into a new phase of your life that will make you become wiser, more mature, like the white dragoness, and you will start to move toward her. You will begin a spiritual journey. I feel like this victory, this win, this is something more mundane. There is not a lot of focus on your spirituality here. This is something that you as a human being on earth want to achieve or felt like you needed to achieve this. And now that you are holding this in your hand, you will have some kind of spiritual inner shift by something or someone that you are not even aware of yet. You will be guided towards that. This is more an internal spiritual thing, but for some of you, this white dragoness could also have some kind of appearance or give some kind of signs in the physical world that you are not yet aware of. And you will be moving closer and closer towards this spiritual source, this spiritual force, without even having a clue. For some of you, I also see a gap, like a split. You are still in this mood of celebrating your success or victory here. And you're holding something in your hands now, and then you realize, oh my God, now I have this, or I have achieved this, but actually I don't know what I want now or what I want to do with it now. I always wanted to work towards this. It worked out fine. I have it in my hands, but what now? You might even, experience some kind of gap, some kind of emptiness. For some of you, there might even be a brief moment of meaninglessness and depression, maybe a sad feeling, even though I said earlier your reading feels overly positive. It is just for a moment. You might feel like immediately after realizing, okay, there is a victory, there's a win, but what now? What am I going to do with it? There's something is over here, and now what? It's like you're, just for a moment, you are losing your orientation in the world or in your own life, not knowing how to move on. As a metaphor, just imagine you see a very beautiful key. Like it has a really nice shape and there are diamonds on it. Like this key is so alluring and you always wanted to have this key, but you have to work something out to get it, and then you are working on something for 2 or 3 years, and finally you figure out how you can have this key. And then you get it and you're having it in your hands, and then like, okay, now I have this key. Should I just wear it as around my neck or what? Should I hang it on the wall, or is there actually a door for this key? I never thought about it. I only wanted to have this key because it looked like a nice piece of jewelry. But now I want to figure out if there's actually a door that the key fits into. Is there any meaning? Oh, this might be a huge spiritual crisis. Sounds negative. Awakening, both of it. Maybe you trained for a certain certificate or license that you wanted to have, so you would be allowed to work in a certain job field. And now you have it. And the big question is not even where should I apply now and start working with the new license that I have. The much bigger question for you is, what is the meaning of all this? It just looked nice It felt nice, it looked shiny, I wanted to have it. I thought it would be practical to have this certificate so I can work there and do this. But why actually do I want to do this? What is my emotional and mental intention behind all of this? Is there a spiritual significance to this? I never thought about it. I just felt like I wanted to do this, but I don't even know why. You know what I mean? There is this kind of gap here as well. And this will lead you towards your own spirituality or your spiritual awakening. And I feel like there is. And this is what had been blocked from you. Maybe this spiritual being gave you this desire to do whatever it was here to achieve this. And just after you finish this, you realize, actually, now I want to know why this always was my desire. Is this some kind of destiny? I never questioned myself. I never questioned my own desire. And now this is when your life takes a very spiritual shift. We have the thief here. And I feel like, I had this in a previous reading as well, the thief does not literally look like someone stealing something away. It looks more like a person who is moving. You might be moving. The face of this guy here in the picture looks like he's reflecting on something. He doesn't necessarily look happy. This might be you, like, yes, you are happy about your success. You are relieved that everything went well. But now you are really wondering a lot. And sometimes when we start to think a lot about spiritual backgrounds or spiritual meanings of very mundane and human earthly things, and we cannot find an answer, I mean, not by reading some spiritual books or something, but in ourselves, an answer that we deeply feel, then sometimes we feel lost, or we start to question everything that we have done in our lives. Even if we have not done anything terrible or bad, we just start to wonder and question, like, does that make any sense? If I look back in a few decades, will I still think this was the right choice? If I'm laying in my deathbed, will I still think this was good? Or what if I die and truly death doesn't mean that I'm gone, but I will continue to exist in another way without my body? And look at my human life. Was this the right thing? And why was it the right thing or not? When we really start to ask ourselves these deep questions, sometimes we become a little bit serious. And maybe sometimes our facial expression looks a little bit unhappy. It's not really unhappiness, it's just wondering. Seriously wondering. But I feel like, yeah, as I said already, the huge disorientation might not for everyone be like, okay, now I have this certificate, now I need to find a job where I can use it. For some of you, this will just immediately be placed into your lap. Not for all of you, but for most. And it might... you might have to travel for it. Some might have to go to another state, but within your continent or country, still cross some kind of river or lake. For others of you, you will have to cross the ocean. You might change your entire country. For many of you, I feel like it could be temporary. That your first offer in working in this new field that you studied for, that someone is offering you, I don't know, you can come and work here for 3 months, and it's just our temporary offer. And you might accept that, and you might be happy about it. You might look forward to it, but you still have your doubts. Maybe, sometimes when we learn something new, we are not very experienced in that field, and then we might worry that, yeah, I have just started to learn this, and maybe I will forget something, or I haven't practiced enough. Doing something practically is always a little bit different than learning something in theory. So this is one worry, but I feel like the most present worry on your mind is just the question, like, why am I doing this? I wanted this so bad, and now I have it, and I don't even know why I wanted this. This is a journey. This is a literal journey, and it's a spiritual journey. On the inside and on the outside, this white dragoness presence is waiting for you, staring at you in a very fierce way. It's also somehow like this spiritual entity is demanding something from you. Like, okay, I made all of this happen for you. I made it possible that you have the spare time or the money or the mental capacity to study for this or to work on this artistic project. It all worked out fine. You are healthy. You are educated in this field now. Everything was possible. You succeeded successfully. You immediately get your new offer. Even the traveling might be very smooth. Whoever might offer this new, even if it's temporary, for others it's not temporary, but there is an open ending. This person might be genuinely supportive and pay for the flight ticket as well, even book the flight for you. Like everything is working out so fast and smoothly and perfectly. Like you will start to feel more and more like this is my destiny. This is it, but I don't get it. And then on your path, on your journey, you might realize, oh my God, maybe you are even an atheist. But the signs and the way things work out and unfold are so non-coincidental that someone is being shaken within you deeply. And it might scare you for a moment, but at the same time you will feel this kind of trust that everything is going right, everything is going the way that some higher force, more powerful than you, always wanted this to happen this way. And that's why all these signs are there. And the further you move towards this white dragoness energy, the more obvious it will become for you. Also, there's a question, of course, as I said, if you are an atheist, why would you even watch a tarot reading? Because usually atheists would think that this is some silly garbage. I don't know, maybe this is the first tarot reading you're ever watching, whatever. Or you already had your spiritual set of beliefs, your religious set of beliefs, and now there's another kind of spirituality that is touching you deeply within, and it starts to alter and shift the previous beliefs that you had. And you see like, no, this is not at all working the way that I thought it would, or that everyone or my spiritual or religious community made me believe, yeah, things are this and that way. But now I'm just being proven by something that is beyond my perception currently, that it's not at all like that. Yeah, I feel for most of you this is all coming through a new job. Whether it is something artistic or just something entirely else that has nothing to do with art. There is a new kind of degree or license, a new step of learning or certification, and you have no idea what this will bring into your life. You think it's just a normal human thing to do and it has nothing to do with spirituality, but as soon as you hold it in your hands, something is shifting. At the end, we have the mirror. This is your self-reflection. It is not the way your face is shaped or your nose or what's the color of your eyes. This is a very deep kind of self-reflection, and it is due to this hidden spiritual force, being, source that is luring you toward her. Like this being is going to make you face yourself on a very deep level. I feel drawn to the water here again, because the surface of water is also something that is mirroring. And now when we compare the way the water reflects our image back at us and the way a mirror reflects our image back at us, the water is wavering, the water is distorting our self-image. While a proper mirror, of course, there are so many mirrors, especially in when you go shopping and you try on the clothes in the shopping mall's wardrobes, how terrible we usually look. Like the lighting is so mean and everything is like you just look much wider than in the mirror at home. That's not what I'm talking about. If we just assume that this is a proper mirror that is properly and realistically aligned and not distorted, then the mirror would give a much more realistic reflection than the water. So there could be something about that maybe there was a distortion in the way that you perceived something within yourself, and this will be corrected. And then you will see something within yourself, how it truly is. Something that was blown out of proportion will become a properly normed thing. I don't know how to express myself here. At the bottom of the deck, there's a letter. Yeah, this could be just a document, a certificate, as I said, that is being handed over to you by the jester person. This is also an invitation from someone who's interested in working with you. I think there's also just this general thing about a lot of paperwork, but it usually when we hear paperwork, there's this feeling of annoyance. I don't want to deal with it. But I feel like everything is just so perfect and smooth here. There's not a lot to do. Like everything will be working out fine. The degree, the job offer, the payment for the flight, or I don't know how you get there, with what kind of machine, car, airplane, train, whatever. Everything will be dealt with. You have almost nothing to do. And that's the only negative thing in your reading, the only scary thing. This is something that feels weird. But it's not. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.